Welcome to this week's 5 Minutes of Revelation, and today in those 5 minutes I want to ask you this. How do you deal with pressure? See, because when pressure from the outside comes and you're yielding to this pressure, some people feel it as if the pressure is simply crushing them. And if you yield to this pressure that is from the outside, it will cause you to make rush decisions. It will cause you to go to a state where you just do trial and error, and where you simply make wrong decisions, where you can't think clear anymore, where you don't feel well anymore, where you're simply under pressure. And when you yield to that, you are going to make wrong decisions. So today I want to ask you, how do you deal with it? When this pressure comes, how do you deal with it? Because see, when there's pressure from the outside crushing you, and there's nothing in you that is pushing back, then this pressure from the outside will simply crush you, because you have nothing in you that pushes back. And it's much like if you've ever been on an airplane and you open a bottle right at the top of the airplane, then the pressure on the inside of the bottle gets less than the pressure that is at the bottom when you're on ground level. Now, when you open this at the top, you close it again and you land, then if you then look at your bottle, you will see that the bottle is crushed, simply because the pressure on the outside increased to a point where it's greater than the pressure on the inside of the bottle, and now it's crushed. And it's the same thing in your life. If the pressure from the outside is greater than what's pushing back from the inside of you, you are crushed under this pressure and you're not able to overcome it. But much like with a balloon, if you keep increasing the pressure inside, it will get to the point where the pressure inside is greater than the pressure from the outside, and you will be able to expand, you will be able to get bigger even in times of pressure. Just think about it like this. Do you want to be this bottle open at the top of the airplane and then crushed once you come down? Or do you want to be this balloon that keeps increasing the pressure on the inside until it overcomes, until it expands even in times of high pressure? How do you deal with pressure? See, because Exodus 14:13 says, "Don't fear, just stand still." This is one of the ways to deal with pressure. Don't fear, just stand still. And Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." So, one of the most important things to do when pressure comes is to not fear. One of the most important things to do when pressure comes is to not fear. When you feel this pressure coming in from the outside, you first of all need to recognize that it's this pressure. And then second of all, you need to calm down. You need to be still and not let it intimidate you. You should not fear this pressure from the outside. You should not fear when the pressure comes. And instead of acting like most people would act in times of pressure, and by that I mean just rushing their decisions, trying to get it over and done with quickly, you need to calm down, you need to stand still, not fear, and know who your God is. Get a revelation of your God. Get a revelation of this pressure inside you that is trying to push back. Because if you be still and look to God, not yielding to this pressure by becoming afraid of it and rushing your decisions, if you do that and look to God, then this pressure, this God that is on the inside of you will become bigger, it will become greater. You will start seeing how God can get you out of these situations. You will start seeing how much greater God is than your problem, how He has the answers that you need, He has the direction that you need. And the more you focus on God, the bigger He becomes in you, and therefore the bigger the pressure that is in you becomes. And if you keep focusing on God, the pressure will become so big and the pressure in you will become so great that even though this pressure is from the outside, you're still able to expand, you're still able to increase, you're still able to make the perfect right decisions while you're at peace, while you're at rest, listening to God. When you focus on this pressure on the inside of you, when you focus on God inside you without fear, being still, focusing on Him, He can give you the right answers. He can give you the right direction. You don't have to rush your decisions. You don't have to go for trial and error, because He will tell you exactly what you need to do, where you need to go, who you need to talk to get out of this pressure, to overcome even in times of pressure. And that's why you shouldn't fear, and you need to be still, to hear from God, focus on Him, and increase this pressure that is on the inside of you. Get a revelation of God inside you. See, because God is the only force that is strong enough to push back from the inside when pressure comes from the outside. And with God, no matter how much pressure comes from the outside, He's always bigger, He's always stronger, He's always greater, He always has more power to push back and to overcome this pressure, so that like a balloon, you increase in spite of pressure. You get bigger, you get stronger, you get blessed more, even though there's pressure from the outside. Where other people get crushed because of that pressure, you can still increase, you can still be at rest, you can still be not afraid and know the right thing to do right now. And that comes simply from not being afraid and hearing from God when pressure comes. So recognize that pressure and then be still. Don't be afraid and hear from God. Build up this pressure that is on the inside of you, and then pressure won't be able to intimidate you any longer and won't be able to keep you from the blessing and keep you from increasing, because increase is what God wants for your life right now and forever. So take this with you. Be blessed by that. Don't ever again let pressure bring you down and crush you. Take this with you, and I'll see you again next week.